Ball with the ba, a bang da dang, diggy diggy diggy, said the boogie, said up jump the boogie. Hooah! What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Game number 3 between Morrow and ESC's Goody. And yes, that was Kid Rock. Oh, Kid Rock, you're so silly. What the hell does that even mean? Ball with the ba, a bang. No, ball with the ba, a bang, a dang, diggy diggy diggy, said the boogie, said up jump the boogie. What the hell does that mean? Can someone please give me a frame of reference for how that makes any sense, what it even means, because this is completely out of my linguistic capabilities, and I guess that's not really saying much. I don't know, I'm not a dummy by any means. I consider myself pretty well educated. Sometimes I do mess up my words, but that just comes with doing commentary. You know, there's a lot of words to get jumbled up when you're speaking at 18 million miles per minute. So anyways, yes, game number 3 here between Morrow and Goody. We are, of course, tied up here at 1-1. I'm really loving bringing you guys these 3-game series. I'm also really loving this recap thing. I just think it looks and sounds phenomenal. Again, I'm going to once more thank Cricket. I'm not going to thank Cricket every single time I do a recap, but everyone should know that this is where I got the idea, and everyone should check him out, too. Cricket's a great commentator, so props to him. Props to my man over there. Goody, just coming up with some SCVs right now. No barracks yet. He is going to be fast expanding. Yes, he is. I'm going to just go ahead and assume that, because that's what it looks like. Now, this is obviously we are here on Taldarum Altar, and this can be quite effective given the just sheer size of the map. It's just absolutely unbelievable how large this map is. Morrow himself also going to be going with the fast expansion. He's been favoring the 16 hatch. He's done that at least twice, maybe all 3 times. I didn't actually see what time he dropped his hatch last game. But anyways, here we go. Goody dropping his expansion at 14 supply, and again we have that 16 hatch here from Morrow. So both players going straight for that fast expo. Now, one thing that Goody's going to have to do is he's going to have to formulate this rather large wall off here. He's going to have to make sure that's fully walled. You may ask, well, why is he walling over here? This is, of course, because here on Taldarum Altar, you do have that extra entrance over there. So he does need to form his wall right along this angle. Again, the problem is that Goody, last game Goody went for a fast expo, and look what happened. We saw a nice Baneling bust from Morrow completely rolling through the front base, and that was, of course, on Shakur's Plateau. Here on Taldarum Altar, this is a much larger wall off, and he's much more susceptible to something like that, so definitely needs to be careful. We can see SCV Scout moving on across. The Overlord Scout here from Morrow finally spotting this Expo. He did just spot the Expo right there, so now he knows, of course, where Goody is. Going to be rerouting that drone right now, trying to move in, do a little bit of harassment, and just get some additional scouting. He's going to want to check number of barracks. He's, of course, going to want to check the wall off. Also going to want to check for refineries as well. Overlord probably wants to chill out over here. Doesn't want to pull in too closely. Of course, he doesn't want to lose his life to this first Marine, which is on its way out right now. There's the transfer of drones going on down, and that is just the one extractor. Excellent. Going to be seeing him drone up most likely. He's got 2 queens coming on through. First extractor finishing right now. There is that drone scout moving out across. And again, he is checking refineries, and he's checking number of barracks, and he's also checking, of course, the SCV count. Given the fact that Goody did go for that fast expo, clearly he's going to be working on his economy very strongly. It's not the case where Zerg can go for a quick expo and actually just cut drones and go for a fast aggression, just using the expo, of course, for the additional larva, more so than the mining. There's really no added benefit other than economy. I don't even know. You guys know this stuff, I would imagine, by now. So anyways, Marine dropping down that drone, so the drone scout is no more for our buddy Morrow. Morrow, first 2 queens up. Couple Zerglings going to be used primarily for scouting. Don't expect many more Zerglings from this point forward. Really going to just expect Morrow to drone up and work on a strong economy. Given, again, the size of the map, we can see the metabolic boost just starting. And the SCV not pulling away. There we go, finally moving away without the metabolic boost. He's going to be safe to get back home to the safety of these Marines. And what else is going on? We are seeing double refinery. You're going to be interested to see how Goody decides to play this game. We have seen him go for mech play. He tried to go for mech play last game. Didn't quite work out, though, because Goody with that fantastic Baneling bust. Moving on down, checking what for a fast third, I suppose so. I guess that's what he would be looking for. That'd be pretty ridiculous, though, if Goody went for a third that quickly. Overlord Scout sacrificing its life. These Marines are going to pull on over and take care of that the second that Goody is aware that that Overlord's even in the base, still within the shadows over there. Looks like at this point in the game, Morrow is maintaining pretty comfortable map control. One Zerglin scratching himself right outside the base of Goody to check for when that aggression does eventually come. Goody finally filling out that wall there. Depot over there, that last barracks. And actually, no, the Overlord makes it through. he did manage, wow, yeah, he just poked on down, looked for some things, didn't see much of anything, and then pulled on back. So surprisingly, Goody not spotting that, wasn't able to take care of it, and we might be seeing another Baneling bust. In fact, we probably will be seeing another Baneling bust. So Morrow, really happy with how the outcome of the last game turned out. He's going to be going for a repeat performance, going to be trying to bust this front wall of Goody once more. There's that Baneling nest, just about finished. Metabolic boost, just about finished as well. He's probably just going to keep up spamming these Zerglings, much like he did last game, and then pretty much cut any more droning that he would be doing. So here we go, Zerglings moving on front. Is this going to be a repeat performance of last game? I'm sure Morrow, of course, does hope so. In preparation for that possibility, Goody is in fact coming out with a second bunker right now, going to be filling that up with Marines. Here are those Banelings rolling through. We got 11 Banelings coming in, 18 more Zerglings going to be re-rallied right down there. There they are, this one and that one. So both of those, of course, going to be rallied straight down over here. And, of course, he wants those Zerglings for after that bust does go through. First thing he wants to do is bust right through the front wall, and then you need, of course, that secondary follow-up of aggression using those Zerglings to actually do the damage once that wall is down. So again, it looks like Goody is going to be going for the mech style play again. He's got 3 factories coming on through his armory, or maybe he didn't have an armory. I'm not sure. Something just finished building. I really want to watch the front of this wall. Did he build an armory or not? Yeah, I'm full of crap. He didn't build an army, but here we go. Baneling bust just about to come through right now for Morrow. Morrow's going to be rolling down with those Banelings, going straight there, and actually some SCVs moving out to try to get some repairing down, just to basically increase the life of that, but still the bust went through, losing almost all of his Marines. These bunkers, though, this one is still up miraculously, but that fuzz does finally get dropped. Good here on Goody, though, because he has pretty much nullified the threat. We do have one Baneling rolling through. That's not a big deal. It's not actually going to kill anything. Just dangerously close. And the SCV's moving down to repair. Finish that wall off, and there you go. Morrow, unfortunately, this has stopped now. He's got these Banelings coming. He could still probably bust through here, especially once this is not completed, but he does need those reinforcements. He's starting to finally start to drone, but he is still committing a lot of Zerglings here. He does want to do more damage than he's done. He's killed a lot of workers. Take a look at the workers killed 14, 29 units killed as well, but Goody has also killed a lot, of course, of those Zerglings and Banelings that rolled through. Unfortunately, though, Goody finishing this wall off again. Looks like Morrow's going to be trying it once more. He's going to go for that weak spot right there, going straight for there, and then I think they're able to sneak through. I think there's going to be room. Banelings rolling on forward, and here we go. Here comes a push, but there are a lot of Hellions already in play. Those Hellions with some micro should have no problem with the Zerglings. Going to be able to get surrounded. It's going to be very, very dangerously close, but no, those Hellions looking to do very, very well right here. Going to be taking care of all of these Zerglings and Banelings threat, and there we go. Goody defending this much, much better this game. Still a few more stragglers, Zerglings, but it doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, that one barracks does get taken care of, but right now, Goody, even though he's taken some losses, it hasn't been nearly as devastating as it was last game. Let's take a look at the units lost. It looks like actually Morrow's in a worse off position. He did take a heavier loss there. I'm going to take a look at this little, what am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for right there. In terms of workers killed, only 18. Morrow definitely killed a lot more last game. You can see Morrow, like he did last game, formulating that wall, one of which is actually going to be an in-base hatch there. He may actually keep that and not actually end up canceling that just to use it for the extra larva there. He does, of course, know that Goody is on his second base, and even though he's done some damage, as I've said maybe 2 or 3 times, it wasn't nearly as much as last game. So Goody isn't in maybe as bad of a position as he could possibly be. There's that production tab right back up. We can see Goody obviously going to be going for this mech style play. He does have that siege mode coming already, of course, and finishing that Infernal Pre-Igniter. Really surprised that Goody didn't even try to push out with these Hellions, try to move in before this wall off finished. But here we go, almost a full wall off. There's a little bit of space right there. Morrow can, of course, at any given time lift up these spine crawlers to make even more room for his units to get through. Zerglings just moving around the map. We do have one Zergling sitting at the Zelnaga. Looks like these Hellions looking for any straggler Zerglings. And yeah, again, I'm surprised that Goody didn't at least try with those Hellions to move across and see if Morrow didn't have that wall off, see if he could do some damage. Hellions going to get a bunch of free kills here from these Zerglings. And again, we do know that Goody's going for that mech style play. Let's take a look and see what Morrow's going for. He does have 2 hatcheries. Is it 2 in-base hatcheries? There's one. Where's the, where the hell's the other? There it is. Okay, so he's actually going for an expo, and that was spotted by Goody. Can't believe I missed that. Hellion's going to roll down. Those are going to take forever to kill this, though. So I would honestly imagine that Morrow, yes, he's going to get up some roaches, and he's just going to move down. Those Hellions will not kill this by the time those roaches actually finish building and move on down to take care of them. The Hellions just do no damage at all to buildings. So we are seeing those roaches come out. We do have that Spire coming on through as well. Also getting that speed upgrade for his Overlords. He doesn't have that transport yet, but just getting those speed, that obviously makes them much more effective scouts. Carapace level 1 just about finished. There's that Spire just about finished. So maybe seeing Speedling, Baneling, given that Spire. The roaches are primarily just to deal with these Hellions, which he knew were in play. Probably going to throw a few roaches into his army composition as well, just to deal with the Hellions, because he probably is expecting that mech style play here from Goody. Goody finally working back up his SCV count, not finally getting some nice saturation here. Wouldn't be too surprised if he looks to actually go for a third at some point. He could also just stick on 2 bases and go for a big, strong 2-gate push once he gets close to supply cap. We can see, again, those roaches more than enough to fend off before killing off that hatchery. Hatchery did get a little bit low. A big part of the reason, too, was he was starting to work on that before it finished, so its base, its starting health was relatively low as opposed to what it could have been. Zergling's working down these rocks. Looks like Morrow's actually going to be going for a 4th as well, so Morrow playing very, very macro heavy, and that's a little bit of cause for concern. There we go. So we actually are seeing an expansion from Goody. Goody is going to be coming up for his 3rd. I would have really been concerned for Morrow going for a 4th if Goody had tried to go for that 2-base push. Now, obviously, he took some damage. He did have a little bit of losses, a little roast there of that palm tree, and again, that 1 roach is almost enough just to push off those Hellions. Those Hellions just do not do good at all against those roaches. Lots of queens spreading out over here, spotting any possible maybe hidden expansions that Goody may try for, and also making it more difficult for him to expand come the later stages of the game. A couple roaches just going to be sticking here to defend against any more possible Hellion harassment. We can see, again, going for that 3rd, and actually look at this. Very nice here. He's going to have to destroy this rock and get rid of this creep at the same time. The 1 Viking is going to force that Overlord away, though. We do have a couple mutas. I did not even see those do any damage. I am very sorry for missing that. I guess they didn't really get to do much damage at all because of the fact that that Thor is in play, but I'm sorry for even missing the fact that those engage. I don't know what the hell. I hope he didn't do a lot of damage with that. I'd be disappointed if I missed some huge-ass battle because I'm talking about nonsense. We do have 1 roach coming across the board, maybe to try to catch any Hellions out of position. Here's that big mech army right now. Goody sitting at 126 supply. Let's take a look at the army supply in comparison. 69 total army as opposed to just the 52 of Morrow. But, of course, Morrow can get that army up very quickly at any given point, given his larva. There's that 4th, just about finished right now. We are seeing an infestation pick come out right now. Also, some level 1 upgrades for his air units and the Glale Reconstitution. So, very interesting. Going to be interested to see what his unit comp is this game. He does, of course, have a few mutas, not a ton, but here comes a big push right now from Goody. Goody also moving with some SCVs to try to get a repair job on any injured units. Tanks sieging up, so here it comes. Aggression right now from Goody. Going to be moving right into the expo of Morrow. Morrow does need to be careful. He does, of course, have this backside, which he can engage, trying to catch those tanks out of position. Looks like he's going to be doing that. You can see units on the mini-map moving across the backside, but the roach is moving forward, and this is very dangerous right now. There's not enough, right? He's taking so many losses from this Thor and tank attack. Those Hellions in there roasting any of the light units, and it actually looks like Mars going for a counterattack. What is he doing? He doesn't have enough quite at this moment to deal with this. Couple more roaches coming on through, but Goody just kind of doing massive amounts of damage. Some roaches finally pulling down, and they're actually doing a good job taking out those straggler tanks who are in the background. Hellions obviously not doing a lot, but those Thors are very threatening. Roaches are just going to turn to engage anyways. Finally pulling back right now because they were taking heavy losses. Those tanks shelling damage here on this natural. Hellions moving on in. Going to be quick work of these workers. There we go, pulling the Jones back in the main. That's what he needs to do. This is very, very scary right now for Morrow. He's taking so many losses right now. This push is just absolutely devastating. Roach is just kind of chilling out over here. Morrow seems he just doesn't know how to respond to this. He did not have enough. He went up for that 4th, and he just did not have enough attacking units to deal with this big push from Goody. Goody coming out with a bunch of mutas, but is it going to be enough? There are 3 Thors. He would have to magic box those perfectly, and then he would be able to mop up those tanks and Hellions, but he has already lost 2 hatcheries, one of which was the actual mining base, and then there's that extra in-base hatch. Where are those mutas? There's a couple over there, a couple of roaches over here as well. There's no counterattack or aggression or anything going on, so right now it is just Goody basically slamming everything that Morrow has. He's, again, just doing so much damage. Here we go, a few more mutas. Once those mutas come into play, he will be able to effectively, he should be able to effectively magic box those Thors and take care of them. Still, though, Roach is here doing nothing. Very, very sad to see that. I would like these roaches to be doing something, even if it was just a counterattack or trying to pick off stragglers or something. But those roaches are just kind of setting out. And Goody's going to set up shop here, putting down a couple of turrets. I am not sure what Morrow can do right now. He's got a few more mutas, and there we go. Mutas are going to be moving in with the magic box right now. Also moving down with those Zerglings and a couple of roaches as well. Magic boxing right on top, but there are those turrets. Turrets do so much DPS to mutas. These mutas are getting dropped very quickly, trying to do what they can to take care of these Thors, but it does not look like it is enough. Forced to push back right now. We do have another base trying to go down over here for Morrow, but these Hellions starting to do a little bit of damage right now. And again, Goody is just set up right outside of the base of Morrow. Goody does have this these rocks taken care of, but decided not to expand over there. Goody instead deciding to go for his expo over there. Still, Roche is chilling out over here. It looks like the game isn't over yet. Morrow is not giving up. Again, Goody's camped right outside of the main, threatening to push at any point. Lots of workers in big danger right now from all of these Hellions. Roche is coming down, should be able to take care of them, but is he going to take full losses. He's lost almost all of his workers over here, so he is going to, of course, be forced to rebuild those workers at a different location. This hatchery did get canceled because of those Hellions. Even those roaches came down, the Hellions were able to stop that from being built. Unfortunately enough for Morrow. Morrow still not a big counter-aggression at all. We saw that initial Baneling bust with those Zerglings, and then there were those Mutas, which as a dummy I completely missed. But besides that, haven't seen a lot of counter-aggression. Morrow, after that initial push, has just pretty much been on his back foot. He's going to have a real hard time breaking this. He just needs to make sure that he kind of ups his units and pulls in from both sides. Again, he's got these roaches down here, finally making use of them instead of chilling them out on this cliff right here. Maybe they were just taking a picnic or something. A couple Mutas moving on down as well, so it looks like at this point Morrow is getting ready to actually push up against this containment here of Goody. Goody obviously doesn't expect to keep this forever. He's actually preparing for that next big engagement whenever it does come. SCV is moving on down. We do have another expo right here, so Goody definitely looking to be in a good position economically. He's in a very commanding position, especially in terms of gas. So Goody sitting at a very smart spot right here, very good spot. So Morrow going to be pushing from 3 angles. You can see the mini-map moving in from all 3 sides. Going to get a full surround here. There aren't really that many tanks. I guess when pushing it up on here, he's going to realize, wow, this wasn't as threatening as I may have thought it was. But these roaches, again, obviously going to have no problem mopping up these tanks and Thors once their numbers were dwindled. So there you go. Finally taking care of that contain. Going to be interested to see if he even bothers going up for an expo over here. But here's another push coming out. Lots of Hellions moving down, trying to hit this 3rd base of Goody. This is very daunting right now. Lots of Hellions going to get pushed back from all of those roaches, but the roaches are a little bit scared of this large tank line from Goody. Goody pretty much sitting on all Hellions and tanks, not really having a lot of Thors at all. In fact, no Thors at all, just Hellions and tanks right now. And my gosh, Muta's gonna be able to go to town. There's a couple Marines in there, but that is it. Mutas can tear through this, but is it gonna be fast enough? That's a problem. Goody's gonna probably move right into the main and start taking out these tech buildings, and that is very, very dangerous right now. We need some more Mutas out here for Morrow. Morrow can mop this up so quickly. At the same time, counter push going down with Roaches. Gonna move right in here. We do have the Planetary Fortress, but they should be able to do a lot of damage. Hellions moving forward. Roaches are gonna do pretty good, but where are those Mutas? There we go. Some Mutas gonna be systematically taking out all of these tanks, then working on those Hellions, but at the same time, Morrow's losing his tech buildings. He's gonna lose this. Probably going to lose that Evo Chamber. I expect him to lose most of everything over here. Roaches did manage to take out that Planetary Fortress. Very nice counterattack there by Morrow with those Roaches. Again, he didn't want to walk into those tanks. Mutas, here we go. Mutas rolling on down, so going to be taking everything down one by one, but again, almost all of the tech here of Morrow is lost. He just lost his Spire. All he's got right now is the Roach Warren, Infestation Pit, and the Spawning Pool. He's going to be going straight for the Layer 2, but he's not going to be able to do it in time, I don't think. It looks like these Mutas are going to be able to take care of that, so wow, oh wow, but Roaches moving in here onto the 3rd of Goody. Goody was able to actually prevent this, though, with some mass repair action. Moving down with a couple of Thors and tanks as well. Going to actually force those Roaches to pull back. Goody saving his 3rd. He did unfortunately lose his 4th. We can see with those Mutas, luckily for Morrow, he was able to save this few tech. He does probably want to get his Spire back up. Saved his Layer too. That is absolutely huge because that's going to let him drop that Spire. We have another hatch coming out over here as well. And wow, what an intense game this has been, I must say. Pretty awesome. Looks like we actually may be seeing Goody just move out, trying to get map control. He may be going for another push, but I would be surprised. He doesn't quite have the forces to go for a big, strong push at this point. He could still try. He could still test the waters and see what he can do. He might even try to get back into the main base and try to finish off these tech buildings, and that's a quick snipe there on that Layer. That would be very, very fast work for him. And GG from Morrow. Morrow realizing this big push was coming with all of those Thors, and he realized that that was just the end of the game. He did not have enough. Goody was way too far ahead of him. We can see 90 army supply as opposed to just the 38. Goody opened up this game much like last game with a very, very fast expansion, spotting that. Morrow tried to go for the same thing that he did in game number 2 with the Baneling bust. The problem, unfortunately, for Morrow was with all these bunkers and some SCV repair. Goody actually did a good job of nullifying the damage that could have been done here from Morrow. It was not nearly as devastating as it was in game number 2, and Goody was able to, like I just mentioned, fend it off properly and not take too many losses. After fending off that initial Baneling bust, Goody went for the same mech style play that we've seen him do all 3 games in this series and was able to push onto the natural expo of Morrow, setting up siege tanks in a very nice position. He ended up taking out the natural expansion and then actually containing Morrow, which was very, very devastating for him. After killing the natural expansion of Morrow, Goody did set up and contain. Morrow eventually was able to hit from 3 angles, though, with a roach-heavy army and break that contain, which allowed him a little bit of breathing room for at least a few minutes. Almost immediately after the Contain was killed, Goody pushed out with a very heavy Hellion tank build, doing a lot of damage. The big problem, though, is that he didn't have any anti-air, but even without anti-air to deal with the Mutas, he was able to absolutely devastate the main base of Morrow, killing off a lot of tech, almost killing the layer. Even though Morrow did eventually take out the 4th base of Goody, and he tried for the 3rd, he wasn't able to take out the 3rd, and since he had taken such heavy losses and losing his natural expansion and taking a very lot of damage at his main, Goody was able to just push out with a few more Thors, tanks, and Hellions, and it was just way too much for Morrow to handle. He just did not have the army size. Again, took way too many losses. Losing that natural was just completely devastating for him. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Goody did end up taking this best of 3 series 2-1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Remember, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And as always, guys, keep watching and keep owning.